What are some of the best cryptos to buy as of July 2021? Quick reminder, none of this is financial advice, and let's jump into it. The first one I would choose is Ethereum. 20% into ETH, plenty of activity. It's the largest smart contracts platform out there. We have those alongside decentralized apps or dApps. Plenty of other use cases as well with the number 2 crypto, DeFi, or decentralized finance as part of lending, automated market makers, non-fungible tokens or NFTs. It's been a real buzzword of crypto over the past 6 to 12 months. On top of all of this, we have a very wide range of crypto assets being built on the Ethereum ecosystem as part of what are called ERC20 tokens. There is a separate list as well called ERC223, but focusing on the former, so many projects here being built on this massive ecosystem. Looking at dApps as well, over 2,800 dApps available. Well, this is according to State of the dApps. Tens of millions of dollars in volume going through the protocol, and that's just in 24 hours. Numerous markets here, so many different cryptos, various categories, so finance, security, marketplaces, exchanges, social media, so on and so forth. Thinking of DeFi specifically, we look at the massive growth in the space, especially since the latter part of 2020. And if you look at the numerous DeFi-related cryptos, Ethereum dominates the list by a long shot as well. Moreover, we have something called the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. It's a growing global community of blockchain leaders, adopters, innovators, developers, and businesses collaborating to bring about solutions for the benefit of everyone and promoting the Ethereum blockchain or using its technology on a frequent basis. More information here about the Alliance. On top of all of this, we have, well, at the moment, we've got something called Ethereum 2.0 or Phase 0 of this major upgrade, also referred to as Beacon Chain, and something called Ethereum Improvement Proposal or EIP 1559. This relates to fees on the network and some other improvements too. Still, there is a long way to go with scalability and a huge amount of progress required if they want to lower the fees on the platform, but still a very compelling reason to throw your support behind Ethereum. The next one on the list here, it needs no introduction, Bitcoin. I would allocate 20% into BTC as well. The foundation crypto, it stood the test of time, still showing plenty of strength, and is anticipated to grow, not just amongst us individuals or retail investors, but there is a growing amount of support amongst the big players or the institutional investors out there. There could be many potential use cases for the crypto asset, but I personally see it. Two major cases here would be for transactions, payments, or potentially as a store of value. And others could argue too, it is a very useful hedge against inflation, or it's becoming a more appealing case. I personally believe it would be most attractive as a store of value or essentially digital gold, a very good alternative to gold in this modern era. Speaking of the metrics, what many refer to as some fundamentals, beginning with stock to flow. And you need to consider this because the fundamentals, they don't care about emotions or this market sentiment. We're seeing a very clear trend, irrespective of these drops. The asset's price in US dollars is increasing at a steady pace, and based on this log chart, it will increase very rapidly in the coming years, and the asset will only continue to become more and more scarce. There is a corresponding Medium article, Modeling Bitcoin Value with Scarcity is frequently quoted. I highly recommend reading this. The mining difficulty, and that ties in with the Bitcoin block reward halving countdown, of the useful information here. The last point I'll cover here about fundamentals, the constantly decreasing inflation over time. We are now at about 1.8%. That is less than the US dollar and many other currencies across the developed world, not to mention the developing world too. I recommend keeping an eye out for all of this information if you really want to monitor the strength of the Bitcoin network. Some food for thought there. Taproot and Schnorr, two major upgrades that are expected to happen in the near future, and it goes without saying, you'll find hundreds, if not thousands of articles covering the amount of praise from institutional investors or just everyday people as well, showing a lot of confidence in the foundation crypto. On to the next crypto asset. This is one of my favorites. It is Cardano or ADA. 15% into this one here. Scalability, sustainability, and interoperability. These are three of the key terms you'll see, or some of the core principles underpinning this blockchain. I won't specifically go through this, but as always, with all of these links, they'll be available in the description. There is a very strong academic process behind the blockchain. It's probably one of the most scientifically rigorous projects, or there's a huge amount of peer-reviewed research and all of these academic papers here. We have over 100 available through IOHK, one of the three organizations behind the Cardano project. As part of the upcoming Goguin era, so 5 eras in total for Cardano, we've got the two Mary and Alonzo hard forks, or two of several forks I should say, or in simple terms, software upgrades on the Cardano ecosystem, whereby these and other hard forks in the lead up to Goguin will allow for the development and running of smart contracts, dApps. We have non-fungible tokens. You can have production of new assets as well, so specifically with Mary, a testnet to begin with, and some recommended reading here directly from the sources. We've got what will Cardano's Alonzo hard fork do? And there is this piece from the Cardano Foundation, the Mary hard fork, what will it mean for Cardano? And for specific information about Goguin or the smart contracts era, we've got the Cardano roadmap here. Despite having a lot of support amongst people in the crypto community, Cardano still doesn't have smart contracts, so people are still skeptical about whether it could live up to a lot of these claims. Offering something better than Ethereum, time will tell. They still need to deploy these before people can make a judgment. There's a growing number of companies showing their support by migrating from Ethereum to Cardano, this piece from Crypto Potato, and in a major announcement, in regards to institutional investors, Grayscale, a notable player in the space, they announced a couple of days ago they'll be adding Cardano to their digital large cap fund. So they've reshuffled it and distributed, well, it's only a tiny percentage, but I expect this to grow over time. Some good staking rewards. It's a very simple process. And Ethereum compatibility, I'll provide a separate link to this. Time will tell if this will actually work or not. The next one on the list, it's been a very good performer over the past 6 to 9 months. Binance Coin, or BNB, I would put 7% into that. What started out as an exchange just a few years ago has grown to become the world's largest, and there's been a very strong expansion strategy. Binance has their finger in several pies. They've got their exchange, the decentralized exchange, a launchpad, so a token launch platform, the Trust Wallet. They've got this NFT marketplace. Having their involvement in these different aspects of the crypto sphere, it's definitely a clever approach. From a BNB investor standpoint, Binance Coin is deflationary. We have these periodic or quarterly burns, and they're gradually reducing the supply until they reach 100 million BNB. So having this dwindling supply would definitely help with higher prices. Assuming BNB continues to grow in popularity, pretty much cemented its spot in the top 10 and specifically been in the top 5 since the beginning of this year. Very promising signs. Be interesting to see how things pan out with the crypto. We've got some involvement in DeFi. I spoke about the NFT marketplace as well. They're just giving all of these different opportunities to people across these different sectors or aspects of crypto, coupled with hundreds of trading pairs across dozens of currencies available around the world. And Ethereum competitor, and not just for Ethereum, but other blockchains too. So it would be ultra competitive, and I only expect this to increase. So that's 62% so far. The next one I have on the list is Polygon, or the Cryptomatic, a major layer 2 project which will tie in with scalability, a very important aspect. It's been a major talking point. So it's got the compatibility with Ethereum and ERC20 tokens. And there'll be other assets too. Just to clarify, it is chain agnostic, so it's not exclusive to Ethereum. Touted as Ethereum's Internet of Blockchains. Plenty of positive news and partnerships. There's integration with the Ocean Protocol and Aave platforms. The latter will feature later in this video. But as we can see, looking at the Aave marketplace through Polygon, $4.1 billion at the time of recording this, for the overall $17 billion liquidity protocol. On top of this, for those wanting to analyze the Polygon blockchain data, you can do so now with Google BigQuery. There is a lot of activity on the space. Another ERC20 token, 69% so far. The next crypto we have is Polkadot. That's 6% into this. It's an interoperability platform. It is a competitor to Polygon. There are quite a few cross-chain interoperability platforms or similar projects. For this one and the remaining cryptos, I'll just skim through these just for brevity. You can connect public and open chains alongside private and permissioned chains. Reading from the website, this makes it possible to build applications that get permissioned data from a private blockchain and use it on a public blockchain. For instance, a school's private permissioned academic records chain could send a proof to a degree verification smart contract on a public chain. So one of the numerous use cases there. It also talks about the architecture that's underpinning Polkadot, and there's a very good summary in the light paper and then more details in its white paper. 3 key terms in regards to the technology. We've got relay chains, parachains, and bridges. I've also made a separate video about this and most of the cryptos in the video. So if you want the specifics, I recommend checking those out. Generous staking rewards. Before moving on to the next crypto, one more thing specifically about staking. If you would like to calculate the staking rewards and see which cryptos are eligible, we've got the list available here through stakingrewards.com. It's not paid advertising for the record. We've got Polkadot there in 4th spot, 13.28% with the staking rewards. Will most likely be slightly lower than that. Nevertheless, a very generous return, 75% so far. IOTA, one of my favorites, 5% going into that. The main difference with this is that it uses something called Tangle, which is not a blockchain, but is another type of distributed ledger technology, closely aligned with this phenomenon called the Internet of Things, or IoT. I think it will play an integral role securing data, connecting machines, and having all of this information flowing through the system in real time across. It could, especially for cities. You never know. Of course, early days, all the information with a list of industries that it's expected to possibly revolutionize. Time will tell. The full list of partnerships available there. There's even a collaboration with another crypto project or this chain agnostic layer 2 scaling solution, Cartesi. A couple more points specifically about IOTA, a major upgrade. It has comparisons with Ethereum 2.0 for its ecosystem. It's called Chrysalis, a major step towards full decentralization of the ecosystem. And it also ties in with something called Coordicide, or the removal of the coordinator node. That has historically been the case for IOTA's network. We've also got a brand new wallet, Firefly. There's a lot of activity happening with that and improvements being made. We have 80% so far. So for the remaining 20%, we've got Aave, 5% into that as well. A decentralized lending protocol. It was historically known as Lend. It moved from a peer-to-peer lending to a pool system. It has grown considerably. So you can lend numerous ERC20 tokens, and that includes something called wrapped Bitcoin. So it's essentially the Ethereum version of Bitcoin. Lending and AMMs. Partnerships. The major one I spoke about earlier with Polygon Matic. It's got the largest DeFi amount in US dollars, and it's been up there for a while. This is through DeFi Pulse. Total value locked, $10.47 billion. Because of the Polygon integration, it's also multi-chain. Some very promising signs for the crypto and its corresponding protocol. The next crypto on the list is XRP. I would allocate 5% once again to that near the end of this tally. It's a gross payment settlement crypto, or one of them. In terms of bank partnerships, this relates more to Ripple. I'll be covering that in a second. And then there are these products here called RippleNet and ODL, or on-demand liquidity. Before going to the Ripple website, there is a very good infographic here giving a clear and concise summary or comparison between the two, Ripple versus XRP. This is from Stethus Crypto. Plenty of excellent infographics and posters. In a nutshell, Ripple is a technology company that provides the most efficient solutions for sending money globally using blockchain technology. XRP, on the other hand, it is an independent digital asset. In regards to RippleNet, the global payments network, it's one of the products, and the other being ODL, instant settlements without pre-funding, and that is using the XRP token. In regards to fast, cheap, and efficient, based on the specs here from the infographic, it says payment settlement speed in 4 seconds. It's 0.4 cents for the cost of the transaction, and efficient, particularly with its eco-friendly credentials here. A lot less energy intensive than Bitcoin, Ethereum, and even Visa. And there is a corresponding link with the related info there. But in regards to notable investors, I guess this ties in with the partnerships. Accenture, Standard Chartered, Santander, SBI Group, Seagate, and others there. Numerous clients and partners, and there's more information in that infographic. This is from last year. Nevertheless, much of this is still relevant. In recent months, you've noticed the price of XRP has dropped. Much of this has been attributed to many people being spooked by legal action being taken by the US Securities and Exchange Commission, or the US SEC. This article from the Daily Hodl, it's from a couple of weeks ago. It says not just XRP, legal expert says SEC could target 2 additional altcoins. It has been an ongoing battle. That's a whole different topic of discussion. I don't see this as being a problem in the medium to long term. I still believe Ripple and XRP will remain relevant for a while. Of course, things can change. You decide if it's still worth investing in. There's one more thing before moving on to the next crypto. I should acknowledge central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, could be a potential threat, although there is still a push by many people to have non-government aligned digital assets. We are now at 90% of my allocation. The next crypto in focus here is Chainlink, or Link, 5% into that once again. This, in a nutshell, it's a protocol that helps connect off-chain data to smart contracts on the blockchain in the form of decentralized oracles. It also has some involvement in DeFi. If you visit its homepage, solutions here, DeFi is listed. I'm focusing on this because I still see this as having a lot of growth potential. Decentralized oracle networks, securing price feeds for DeFi. It lists 4 use cases here. We've got derivatives, synthetics being another crypto, lending and borrowing, a few cryptos listed, featuring Aave, stable coins as well. Use Chainlink to create stable coins pegged to fiat currency, currency baskets, or commodities, and asset management. Various projects there. We also have corresponding testimonials. They have a community grant program, the development of new smart contract applications that secure greater value across more markets. And once again, this is an ERC20 token, so 95% for the last crypto on my list. VeChain or VET token, or one of the use cases for the crypto is product tracing using blockchain tech. There are, of course, many projects and digital assets involved in product tracing. This is particularly the case for high-end consumer goods if you want to ensure that they're genuine products and not counterfeit goods. Other use cases as well for several industries. Visiting their homepage, you'll see it's bilingual as it is a Chinese-based crypto project. So the various solutions listed here, for those not looking at the screen, I won't go through all of them. Automobile, retail, there are pieces about a collab between VeChain and Walmart China as part of product tracing, and there'll be other use cases there too. Logistics, LNG solution, agriculture, and digital content distribution, in addition to various products and services. And that is the 100%. I will admit, for the last ones where I allocated 5% each, I would be willing to tweak them slightly, more or less, but for simplicity, I just decided to stick with these easier numbers. I'm curious to see which ones you would throw your money into. As you would imagine, with the thousands of crypto assets out there, it's very hard to fit all of the really good projects into this video. I've made some notable mentions here, and don't get me wrong, there are still some that didn't feature in this that I would recommend. But starting with some of my favorite wildcards here, we've got Uniswap, another very good project involved in DeFi, especially when it comes to token swapping, or swapping from ERC20 tokens to another in a very efficient manner. It's a very clever system, so Uniswap is definitely one that I would support. I would be willing to substitute any of these even with some of the cryptos that I previously spoke about. The next one here is Mana, or Decentraland. That's a gaming related crypto. It's like an online game where you can buy tokens to participate in it. I'm not really a gaming person. I haven't personally used it. It has done fairly well this year. It's a low-capped crypto, or low to mid-capped, I should say, nowadays. The next one here, Sia Coin. It's decentralized cloud storage. It's been around for a while. I think it's still got some good potential there. Engine Coin, another gaming related crypto. As a quick side note, I've covered these three here in more detail in a separate video talking about some low-capped cryptos to invest in. This was at the beginning of this year. Anyhow, Engine Coin, they've had some involvement with Atari and Microsoft, and they're involved in the NFT space as well. Some fairly strong price growth, especially since the beginning of this year. Basic Attention Token, otherwise known as BAT. So it's used on the Brave browser, which I'm currently using and use for most of my videos. So through Brave, there is a system called Brave Rewards, and you earn small amounts of BAT by opting in to view some advertising. It's a different way of reaching out to advertisers and publishers and even content creators, an opt-in system to view ads, and you get rewarded accordingly. If Brave were to gain market share, I believe, and at some point I think they slowly will gain a bit of traction, I think that will also benefit BAT. So Travala, or it should actually be Travala.com. As we can see here, you can pay using a vast swathe of cryptos, coupled with many fiat currencies available. Once tourism and hospitality picks up again across the world, I think this will take off. And because it is a low-capped crypto, I see plenty of growth potential. And for the last two here, we've got Maker and Litecoin. I know some people I'm still willing to put some money into Litecoin. I think it will remain relevant. Some people see it as a testnet to Bitcoin. Others see it as a good standalone alternative. They've got Mimblewimble privacy features that are being incorporated into Litecoin, or that's a work in progress. So that should be a major upgrade too. And with Maker, in a nutshell, based on its website, it says MakerDAO is a decentralized governance community that enables the generation of DAI, or DAI, the world's leading decentralized stablecoin. So MakerDAO manages the generation of DAI through an embedded governance mechanism within the Maker protocol. So why I think this will be significant, it's an Ethereum-based decentralized governance system with its corresponding stablecoin, so something that is not government controlled. In spite of what I said earlier regarding CBDCs, I still think a lot of these decentralized stablecoins, they will play a role in future. To what extent, always hard to tell, but I still think Maker will be a good return on investment. And concluding thoughts, I thought I'd leave these towards the end. As a strategy, what some people can do, and I've done this to a certain extent, if you get very good returns on investment for small cap cryptos, you could potentially convert them to larger ones to increase the portfolio percentage of some of those that I spoke about at the beginning of the video. Like if you want to mitigate risk, so to speak. I also recommend setting personal targets for cashing out. Ideally, most of us should have like certain price points we want these cryptos to reach before we say, okay, we're going to take out X percentage and convert that either into fiat or another crypto, preferably fiat, or something you could use to invest in something else or to pay bills or whatever you need the money for. And do your own research. What you've heard in this video, these are just my thoughts. You should seek not just opinions, but also facts and insight from various sources. Okay, I think it's important here. And above all, nothing in this video is financial advice. I have to reiterate that. And diversifying. I don't recommend putting all of your eggs into one basket. That's not just in regards to the number of cryptos you're in, but also how much of your personal wealth you would put specifically into crypto as opposed to other asset classes. And invest what you can afford to lose. This is a highly volatile space, but of course you do you. Just my thoughts. And a quick market update here, courtesy of CoinGecko. Some of the biggest movers, or pluses and minuses for the top cryptos here. We can see Binance Coin is up 7.2%. Dogecoin down 11.6%. We've got Uniswap 15.7% up, looking really good. VeChain 11.7% down, but on a positive note, Aave 26.6% up for the week. It's doing really well, propelling its way back up the rankings here. We've Cosmos 14% up, Terra 30% gains, Leo token nearly 20%, PancakeSwap 8.5%, FTX token 11.5%, and Compound 22%. Some of the DeFi related cryptos have performed fairly well over the past 7 days. Bitcoin, $33,200 per BTC. Ethereum, $2,143. Cardano, $1.36. Polkadot, $15.67. Uniswap, $21. Litecoin, just under $133. And I'm going to leave it there. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to stay up to date with my latest content. If you have something to say or you just want to say g'day, by all means, leave your feedback in the comments section. Thanks again and talk to you shortly. See ya.